Pitch back Williams, who breaks the tackle to the 20, 25-30, 35-40, 45-50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Goodbye! Touchdown, Oak Ridge!
Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting edition of the Inside Perspective. I'm your host Jerome Taylor, and we're glad that you could join us as we talk about week number 9 in the KFL. My special guest joining us today from the Gibbs High Eagles, he is senior wide receiver C.H. Qualls, and we're going to talk to him about the Gibbs season and the Fulton game this week, in which they had to win in order to make the playoffs, but they come up a little short. We're going to talk to him about this season and playing with head coach Randy Carroll, and that'll be pretty interesting. And another guest joining us today will be from the South-Doyle Cherokees. He is a running back and defensive tackle, Monty Goodwin. Plus, Mad Mike will take us around the KFL for week number 8 with KFL highlights. So don't you dare go anywhere, because you don't want to miss this edition of the Inside Perspective. And welcome back to the Inside Perspective, and it's going to be interesting going down the stretch as playoff possibilities are still out there, as there are plenty of spots for KFL teams to make it. As we talk a little bit about some of the games, the Webb Spartans will be hosting Sweetwater, and that's a game that the Webb Spartans need to win to make the playoffs. Also, the Bearden Bulldogs and Hall's Red Devils, that's going to be an interesting game at Bearden High School. And also the South-Doyle Cherokees will be playing Jefferson County, and South-Doyle needs to finish strong and win their final 2 games and get some help if they're going to make the playoffs. But my first guest joining us, he had a great night Friday night in a loss with 9 catches and a couple of touchdowns, and he is a senior wide receiver, C.H. Qualls, and he joins us as they get ready to prepare for the Carter Hornets this week. C.H., thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, you're coming into Friday's game knowing that this will be, it's a do-or-die game, and you're having to win this game to make the playoffs. What were you guys' preparation like, and what were some of the things that you wanted to accomplish coming into Friday's contest?
Well, first of all, you know, the coach tried to keep the atmosphere loose, you know, but you know, if we won this game, we would get to go to the playoffs, and it would heal a lot of bumps and bruises, you know, and get us over the hill. You know, it could take the part, you know, of a losing season, make it one worth remembering. But you know, as we went into the game, you know, we tried to stop the Fulton. We watched 2 Fulton films on when they played Manorville and when they played Scott County, and the Manorville game, you know, it showed what Fulton did on offense basically, and then the Scott County game, their defense showed how to stop Fulton. And going in, you know, if we could stop Fulton's passing game, you know, we thought we had a chance to win. And if we could, you know, block and make the right plays on offense and the ball fall our way, we could win the game.
Now you get off to a 10-0 lead, and then all of a sudden they get a wake-up call and come back and start to take control of the football game. with Joe Kimmer having an excellent contest with the 4 touchdowns, was named the player of the week and everything. Talk a little bit about, as the game started to slip away, the kind of adjustments you tried to make to slow them down.
Well, we didn't change anything, because what we were doing was, it was going through, and they just made some big plays on us at the right times, and we thought we were still in the game. That's happened to us all year. We've been ahead most of the time at the end of halftime, and then second half, something will happen, and we'll start going on the downfall. But we fought through the whole game. We had a chance. We had a couple of chances, but we couldn't pull it out.
Has that been kind of the, I guess, the rhythm that this team has found, that instead of the last years where you found a way to win some games, this year you're finding a way to lose some games? Has that been kind of what this team has had to battle all season?
Well, yeah, that's the way it's been. The coach has said, the ball hadn't bounced our way, because some of the times we'll be watching on the film and the ball just bounce out, and we'll think we have it, but somebody else will end up with it. And we've tried to keep a good attitude, and Coach Carroll stresses that football teaches you more about just winning and losing. It teaches you about life, and teaches you how to be a man and things like that.
Okay, now personally, you have a great game. You have over 180 yards receiving and 9 catches and 2 touchdowns. How do you put in perspective a great game like you had personally and the loss? How do you kind of mix the two?
Well, personally, if I wouldn't have caught the ball at all and we'd won, that'd been better than having the loss. But I was happy inside that I had the great game, but I was sad, because we've been to the playoffs the 3 of the 4 years I've been there, and this year we won't be participating in it, and it's kind of sad. But like I said, I would exchange those 9 catches for the victory any day.
What did Coach Carroll have to say basically to you guys after the game?
He said that he loved us, and that he's proud of us, that we stuck together and we fought to the clock ticked to 0, and we got to stick together these next 2 games. We ain't got nothing to lose, we got nothing to win, but he said we were going to go out and have fun and try to do our best.
Okay, well, doing their best is what the Gibbs High Eagles will try to do as they prepare for the Carter Hornets this week. And when we come back, we're going to talk more with C.H. Qualls about their preparation for Carter. But first, we're going to take a look at the statistical leaders in the KFL. Stick with the Inside Perspective.
Yo, a day in the life of a player named Quick. I'm just a stubborn kind of fella with a head like a brick. And just because I drink the A, they say that I'm hopeless. But I don't really care, so blame it on the locals. Now this is how we do it when we checkin' the grip. Player Hammers in the house, so don't even trip. We're busting funky compositions, as smooth as a prism. So check it while I kick it to this funky dope rhythm. It's Friday morning, the phone is ringing off the hook. And AMG is in the gym reviewing rhymes in his notebook. Or should I say dope sack, because we don't bust whack. I pick up the phone and it's the G. What's up? He said he's coming down at about 2 on the dot. So I'm about to rest the tail while my water's still hot. And now I'm soaking. A brother like the devastating, get Quick ain't joking. Mess with me and suck and see that they get broken. My name is Quick, but you can call me Daddy. Yo, open up the door and see a freakman in the caddy. The freakies in the L, dog and Chevy's in the L con. Everybody sipping on the quote. Here we go. D just came with a 40 and a quote. In addition to the 2 that Greedy just bought. But I don't want to start early, so I just might put my 40 in the freezer, cause I want to get bit. And now I'm out of the tub.
And welcome back to the Inside Perspective, and we're talking with senior wide receiver C.H. Qualls, who joins us from the Gibbs High Eagles. And C.H., you get an opportunity to play with a lot of different players, but the man that probably stands out in your mind is helping you develop would be Coach Randy Carroll. Talk a little bit about what your growth has been like under the tutelage of Coach Carroll.
We used to have Gibbs Middle School, and we could come up as freshmen, as 8th graders in practice during spring practice. And, we came up, you're not really mature at that age. And, he's taught us a lot about life and how to be a man, like I said before. And, he's taught me he teaches you how to lose and how to win and how to be a man about things. And he's helped me mature a lot, and he's, had to get on my case a little bit, but I respect him for that, and all the other coaches too. And you know, I think that's good that the coaches get on you because it teaches you, that in the real world, people tell you something, if they're your boss, you got to do it. And I thank him for the things he's done for me.
Yeah, well, you guys mentioned, you mentioned that you won't be making the playoffs, and you've had an opportunity to play with some great players. Talk about what it's been like to playing with some of the guys that have graduated and some of the guys that have stuck it out with you this season.
Well, my freshman year we played with Christian Graves, wide receiver, and Brian Campbell and Brandon Campbell and Josh Farmer, big offensive lineman, and it seems like the size just keeps decreasing every year.
I know what you mean.
Then there was Richard Widener and Stacy Elliott and Trent LaCoultre and Sammy and Sherman, and those players, they were great. They led the team. That's why we went to the playoffs and stuff like that. And this year, my buddies ever since we were little, we've been wanting to play, like Shane and Ryan and Rodney and Todd and Bubba, and it's fun. It's been a fun year. I mean, even though we're 1-7, we've had more fun this year than I have any other year I've been there. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about the fun. Is it? You guys can go out and hang loose now. Y'all don't have nothing to worry about. You can hang loose as you get ready to prepare for Carter. Talk about what your practice was like today in preparing for Carter.
Well, today, we went over defense because we don't have. Usually on Monday we watch film, but we didn't get that opportunity because of in-service day Friday. But we feel that Shane Bells and Jason Sievers that play defensive tackle. If they can stop the trap inside, and we can. Chris Goins and Bo Carpenter have a good game at defensive end. We can stop the sweep, and our experience at linebacker there hadn't been anybody that had played before this season. And I think the guys back there stepped up big time this year for not being in there a lot like Trent and Sammy were during their career. But I think that if we can stop Darryl Robinson from running the ball, I think we can win the game.
Dana, what's it going to take? I know it's going to take a team effort, rather. And how is Coach trying to motivate you guys for this last football game? Or well, not the last football game, but you're going to have a game after this, but for this particular football game.
Well, he tells the seniors, that this is the last two, and I think he had a fun atmosphere today, and the kids enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed practice all year, truthfully, and he has a loose atmosphere right now, and he said we were going to have fun, so hopefully we will. Well,
all right then. Thanks a lot, and best of luck in the final weeks of the season, and congratulations on at least making it through the final 3 years or the last 3 years, and continue best of success, and much luck this year as you wind up your senior season at Gibbs High School. C.H. Qualls on the inside perspective. Don't you dare go anywhere, because Mad Mike is going to take us through week number 8 with this edition of KFL Highlights. Stick with the inside perspective.
Gibbs, the Eagles and Falcons lay it all on the line. At Halls, even in disguise, the Red Devils can't fool the Panthers. At Evans Collins, Coalfield will have to pay if they wanted to win a championship. And at Farragut, the Admirals tried to slip in the back door and win another regional title. So get to stepping, boy, and bring your best moves for this edition of KFL Highlights. everybody, I'm Mad Mike, and let's get things started off as we talk about week number 8 in the KFL season as we look at the do-or-die game at Gibbs High School with the Fulton Falcons and Gibbs High Eagles, knowing that the loser would not make the playoffs, and head coach Buck Coatley was pleading for something to happen for his Fulton Falcons as they trail 10-0, and that's when the Joe show began as Joe Kimber scored 4 touchdowns on the night, including a 96-yard kickoff return and a 53-yard pass from Wayne Austin as head coach Randy Carroll watches his bid for a 4th consecutive playoff berth fly the coop as the Fulton Falcons win over the Gibbs Eagles 26-16, making the playoffs for the 2nd consecutive season. Let's kick it on out to Halls High School as the Halls Red Devils were trying to come in a disguise in the new blue jerseys to throw off the Powell Panthers, but no, the Panthers were on a prowl and smelled the scent of the Red Devils as the Panthers rolled 34-11 in a big Region 3 4A contest, improving to a record of 7-1, 4-1 in the region as Matt Lowe engineered the team and the big drive here as he runs for 29 yards and a touchdown. And the Panthers continue to keep the pressure on the Red Devils as Colin Steen, one of the more dangerous punt returners in the league, returns this kick inside the Hall's 40-yard line, where later Christopher Robbins of Winnie the Pooh fame, who had over 100 yards rushing, scores the touchdown as the Powell Panthers improve their record and wrap up a playoff berth, hoping that it will come down to the final game of the season against the Cleveland Blue Raiders as they win over Halls 34-11. And let's go on out to Evans Collins Field, home of the Catholic Fighting Irish, as the Coalfield Yellow Jackets came in a big regional contest against the Catholic Fighting Irish as Rudy Furman leads the ranks on the field, and it was a tough battle early in the contest as Coalfield drove right down the field against the vaunted Irish defense until a 1st and goal appeared, and what do you know? The luck of the Irish took hold as a fumble was recovered and the Irish stopped the Yellow Jackets as Mr. Bubbles, head coach Mark Tate, was hoping for winds of change, but not tonight as the center snaps the ball over the punter's head for a safety, giving Coalfield a 2-0 lead as they took a halftime lead of 16-0, but the Irish fought back but come up short, losing to Coalfield 23-14. Let's go on out to Bearden High School as the Bearden Bulldogs Mikhail Smith was stopped here at the end of the first half, and a Vincent Nicard field goal was all that the Bulldogs would get, coming up a little short to Maryville 10-3 as the Bulldogs need to win their next couple of games if they're going to make the playoffs. At Farragut High School, it was a beautiful night for football as the Oak Ridge Wildcats came in with an undefeated 7-0, flexing their muscles against the Farragut Admirals, who were also 7-0 in a big Region 5A contest, as the Admirals were looking for another win as they knock off the Oak Ridge 21-20 last season. But this was a new year, and we pick it up in the 3rd quarter with Oak Ridge leading 7-6. Mr. Gibson catches the touchdown and does his impression of the Tennessee Walking Horse as he high-steps into the end zone, giving Oak Ridge a 14-6 lead. And then after a fumble, Sean Williams does his best Michael Jackson impression as the Admirals trail 21-14, and Chris Avens was looking for something to happen big, and it does as Jason Woods takes the kickoff and rambles down inside Oak Ridge's 35-yard line, giving the Admirals new hope. And on the first play, Chris Avens hooks up with J.J. Henderson who gets the Admirals down to the 20-yard line, and a couple of plays later, Avens will do it himself on the short touchdown to pull the Admirals to within 8. Time to go for 2 as the crowd goes wild, and Avens on the play takes the snap, looks, finds his man, Andrew Sturgill, and the crowd continues to go wild as the score is 21-14. The Admirals believe, but then it's time for the defense to come up with a big play, and they do as Rod Steed recovers the fumble, giving the Admirals new life with 6 minutes to play in the ball game. But that's when the Oak Ridge defense comes alive as Avens throws downfield, intending it for J.J. Henderson, and it's deflected away. And once again, another long pass to Henderson is almost intercepted, then almost caught by Henderson, as the Oak Ridge defense holds the Admirals, and then the back-breaking play as Sean Williams rambles 61 yards for the touchdown to close out the scoring 28-14 as Oak Ridge remains undefeated in Region 5A.
I'm here with victorious quarterback Jeff Miner as tonight the Oak Ridge Wildcats come in and knock off the Farragut Admirals by the score of 28-14. Talk about the big victory tonight, Jeff.
I got to give all the credit to the line. Those guys played a great game. They blocked. We was able to run the ball. I had my time to throw, and the defense played a real good ball game. It's hard to lose when you just that.
Okay, talk about your play this season. You probably don't get as much credit as a lot of the guys or the other teams or even in the state, but you come out and you play a steady ball game. Talk about your performance.
Well, I guess I've done all right. I don't want to brag or anything. You know, I realize that I'm not a one-man team. I'm not expected to be, and I mean that's fine. Just as long as we win, I'm ecstatic.
All right, congratulations, and go ahead and join the team, man.
Well, I took this game as any other game. I knew it wasn't that big of a game to me, so I just came out playing like I do every game with a killer instinct while I'm running the ball.
Okay, did you think that right now you're getting the respect that you deserve right in the state tonight, 253 against a top-ranked team? After a couple of games where you had over 200 yards or 180 yards averaging the last couple of games, tonight you come in, busted against a good team. You think you're going to get the respect you deserve now?
Well, I hope so. I'm tired of people underestimating us and putting us at the underdogs, but I came here tonight to let them know who the real dogs.
All right, then, congratulations and best of luck rest of the season.
For the Inside Perspective, I'm Mad Mike saying that's it for KFL Highlights.
And welcome back to the Inside Perspective. And my next guest is a senior running back and a defensive tackle for the South-Doyle Cherokees. And Coach Dunmore calls him the spokesman of the team, and he joins us as they get ready to prepare for Thursday night's contest with Jefferson County. He is Monty Goodwin. And Monty, thanks a lot for taking time out to join us on the Inside Perspective. Friday night, you guys had a contest that you needed to win. There was a regional game against the Morristown East. Talk a little bit about what you guys wanted to try and do Friday night against Morristown East.
First of all, we was trying to run on them, but they kind of took it away from us. So we found out later on in the game that we could pass. So, you know, we start moving the ball on them. Then we start having a lot of turnovers, mistakes. So finally we got it together in the second half. You know, Johnny Malone made a big play for us, scored on a 92-yard run. Then his brother, you know, kind of stepped up for us. You know, I kind of thought it was good, and I was feeling good that little people, the little men stepping up, you know, the freshmen kind of got me in the going of getting into it.
Yeah. You know, speaking of the young guys, you have an opportunity, you talk with, you play with, you grew up with some of those young guys with Johnny and Nani Malone, and you have some other young guys like Danny McClanahan stepping up. Talk about the progress of those young guys.
Oh, yes, they play very hard, especially McClanahan. He give effort. He give it all. Lil Johnny, he steps up. He done stepped up his game. They get better every day. Nani Malone, he's when he get as a senior, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the KIL, I think, because he's growing up, you know, he's doing everything.
Okay, now you guys come up a little short as Leon Cody. He scores a couple of touchdowns, and you guys lose the contest. What did Coach Ward say to you guys afterwards to keep your heads up, knowing that you still had 2 games left and you still have a possibility of making the playoffs?
He told us to keep our heads up. This is it. We can't do nothing but go up. He kind of made me feel good because he told me that, Monty, this is it. You got to step up. This is your last year. You got to get some leadership. You and all the other higher classmen got to step up. This is it. Play hard. Do what you can. And come out with a win. So it kind of made me feel good.
A little bit about how head coach Don Ward has helped you in developing as a player and as a young man.
Oh, yes. My freshman year, I didn't really play varsity football, but I got a chance of going to the games and, you know, meeting the big stars that they had, like James Parker, you know, Justin Denton, Sean Snyder, and all them. And I didn't really get to play because, you know, I wasn't really up to my level then, you know, but I got along. Coach Ward took me through a lot. He taught me how to play linebacker, running back, defensive tackle, you know, move me around so I can get better. And, you know, I kind of like it. Plus, Coach Ward ain't just the type of person that help you with football. He the type of person that wants you to know the Lord and all that. So that's the kind of influence Coach Ward has.
Okay, now, the type of influence I know Coach Ward hopes he has is to have you guys ready to play Thursday night against Jefferson County. What was the mood of practice today as the Cherokees prepared to play Jefferson County?
We had a hype mood today. You know, we was up to it. Everybody was practicing hard, running hard, linemen playing both sides of the ball, helping us out on offense, helping us out on defense. You know, we got it real good today. So, you know, we had a good practice. You know, we'll probably go over films later on in the, you know, practice and Wednesday.
Yep.
You know.
What's it going to take for you guys to knock off Jefferson County? This is a do-or-die game for you guys. And we had been talking, I know we had talked and spoke Saturday about a lot of different things, but this game boils down to if you win this week, you have a shot next week. How are you going in and how are you approaching this game Thursday night?
Well, my biggest worry is teamwork, because you got to have teamwork to win a game. You know, the linemen got to step up, the backs got to step up, the corners, the quarterback, everybody got to step up. It can't be no one man, got to be the whole team. South-Doyle to beat Jefferson County.
Okay. Well, I know that Coach Ward will have some kind of plan together as the Cherokees are looking to go on the warpath Thursday night. Best of luck to the Cherokees and as well all the teams in the KFL on Thursday night play. But best of luck to you guys, and we'll be talking with you and some of the members of the Cherokees later on this season. And thanks a lot for joining us on the Inside Perspective.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Monty Goodwin, the South-Doyle Cherokees, on the Inside Perspective.
But tonight, don't call it a comeback.
In this edition of KFL Flashback, we go back to September 24th, 1993 at Bearden High School as the Powell Panthers and Bearden Bulldogs are tied late in the fourth quarter at 21 when quarterback Eric Stevens throws a Hail Mary pass down the field that's caught by Jerome Taylor as jubilation throughout the Bulldog sideline, but a flag was thrown for motion on the play, and the Powell defense stuffs out the Bearden's attempt to win it in regulation, and they take it into overtime where Powell wins the toss-it on the first play from scrimmage. Matt Lowe scrambles in for the touchdown that gives Powell the big 28-21 victory on this edition of KFL Flashback.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the show. I'd like to thank my special guest, Monty Goodwin of the South-Doyle Cherokees and C.H. Qualls of the Gibbs High Eagles. But most of all, I'd like to thank you for watching, because without you, none of this would be possible. For the men and women behind the scenes, I'm Jerome Taylor saying stick with us, because we've got the inside perspective.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, giving them something they can run.